Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, this is Wrath, and today we're going to go for the final boss of the Hivemind map for Blood and Venom Symbiote Mancer. This is the October event quest, and this is the Epic difficulty. Let's take a quick look at Symbiote Supreme's abilities. His unlock ability gives you a stagger every 10 seconds. Stagger is going to be that debuff that removes any buff that you get posted, and so every single stagger can remove one buff. He's very similar to Doctor Strange in that he will not gain power from hitting or attacking or blocking, and instead he'll only gain it passively over time, and additionally through these genetic potentials. He gains genetic potential in different manners based whenever he gets rid of a buff as well as certain other attributes, and then that will be utilized to gain a full bar of power when he switches blessings. The three different blessings he can rotate through, one is going to be for basically triggering nullifications more often. The next is going to be having a shield that basically reduces the amount of damage you can get in one go, which is not very important for you, seeing as how it reduces it to 15% in one attack, which you're not going to really be able to do with a 4-star. And then the third one is going to be basically a passive fury buff that's going to be increasing his attack. His special attacks can nullify as well as give genetic potential. Again, you're not hopefully going to be hit by these, so you don't really need to worry about their specific attributes, just knowing how to dodge the first one. Now let's go on to the actual node buffs that are on him. So the first one is going to basically allow him to gain power whenever one of your beneficial effects expires. Additionally, he's going to gain power when you put a debuff on him. Additionally, he's going to have resistance to power burn, which is very, very important. And then he also has increased buff duration, and then he will pilfer your own buffs. So if you have buffs on you, he can take them at a 20% chance and then gain the buff himself. So what this means is for big strategy tips, one, make sure that you remove your Dexterity mastery. So go to your mastery and remove Dexterity. So recover your points, put them back into parry, but then remove Dexterity. Additionally, you're going to want to use mainly champions that do not gain self buffs. So that could be like someone like Magik. Magik is a great choice here, especially because she power locks. So Magik does have a problem here in that she does not power drain as effectively because he's 90% resistant. So you'll see here using the second super didn't power drain him, and it does have a potential chance not to inflict the power lock. But the big point is that you're just trying to make sure that you're reducing any buffs on yourself. So Magik is a great choice, as well as the potential for power locking. What you just saw there is the main strategy for fighting him is you can just basically parry him like normally. He's not stun resistant. His first super is basically this tentacle attack that comes out and whips twice. And you're basically just going to dodge backwards, wait for that to go out, and then come right back in afterwards. You'll see it again here. So I'd highly recommend you go for the first super being utilized right there. And you can just dash in right afterwards. So always bait the first super against him. His second super is very similar to Doctor Strange's, which is very difficult to dodge for a lot of people. So I'd really just focus on first super dodging. So you'll see it again right here. Whip 1, whip 2, dash in. Besides that, you're just going to do parry, and then with Magik, if you see here, you can power lock him still. So you're just going to power lock him and then just continuously do parry strategy and then attack. If you do not have Magik, there are other choices you can choose from. The big parts, you do not want to have anyone that causes bleed or armor break, ideally. You can still use those champions, but it's better if you don't, because when you bleed him and armor break him, he's going to gain additional power gain. So it's better to just not have to deal with that. Additionally, you want no one that has self buffs. So you don't want someone like Starlet that's going to gain fury buffs. You don't want someone like Hyperion that's going to gain power gain buffs. You don't want regeneration buffs. So you don't want anyone like X23. You could use someone like, for instance, Vision. Vision's going to do that power burn, which again, remember, that's not going to be as effective. It has a 90% chance to not work in terms of the amount that it drains. So you can still use it, just remember that it might not be as reliable. So you can definitely use Vision because he does not put debuffs on the opponent, and then he doesn't have self buffs himself, and he'll power burn. Additionally, you could use someone like Captain America World War II, as long as you don't use a second super to cause bleed. But basically, you can do stuns, just don't try to do bleeds, poisons, or armor breaks, and then just don't have any self buffs. I would highly recommend to remove Dexterity. You will start to suffer a lot of damage because of the nullifications, as well as give him more power, which are both bad things to do. His second super, I would recommend, basically you can dodge the first blast, shield the second one, and dodge the third one. I would still, though, recommend just baiting out the first super. The first super is extremely easy to dodge. It's really not hard to get out of the way. You just dodge backwards and then wait for that second whip and come in. So I would say Magik is probably your best choice against him. I would say Magik is basically the perfect counter. You can definitely beat this guy with 4 stars. If you have to use someone that does bleed and poison, that's completely fine. Just keep going with it. You're going to have to probably use some revives and heals, but you can definitely take him down. You just don't want to use anyone that has regen if you're having problems with that, because he's going to take that regeneration potentially. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope that you all found this helpful. Good luck with your epic runs this month. Please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell if you can. I really enjoy talking to everyone down in the comment section, so please put any questions or other comments or tips for other players down below, and looking forward to talking with everybody. Have a great rest of the day.